Welcome to Celebration TV Business Talk Show. My name is Aigbefu John, your host and your favorite program. It's no longer news that a lot of businesses, individuals, economy are struggling to survive in this present pandemic. Due to the lockdown, a lot of business are no longer open and they have experienced so much losses this period. Today on Business Talk Show, we will be looking at the effect of this COVID-19 and lockdown and business and individuals, and also we'll be looking at the possible way of surviving this present pandemic. Dr. Moses Igbafe will be joining me immediately after this short break. Please don't touch that dial. Welcome back from that break. Like I said, Dr. Moses Igbafe will be joining us to discuss on the topic, the effect of COVID-19 pandemic and lockdown on businesses and the possible solutions of survival. Dr. Moses Igbafe is a chief lecturer and also a researcher in computer and information technology from the Department of Computer Science, Auchi Polytechnic, Auchi. He is here with us. Please meet Dr. Moses Igbafe. You're welcome.
Thank you for inviting me to join you on this program.
Yeah, welcome. Today on Business Talk Show, we want to look at the effect of this COVID-19 pandemic and lockdown imposed by government of the nation, and how it affects our businesses, and probably looking at the way of surviving from this pandemic. Now, I want to ask Dr. Igbafe, how has this pandemic affected our economy at large?
Thank you very much for bringing me into this talk show program. Let me start by emphasizing that to save oneself and save others, it is important that we adhere to the social distancing etiquettes, washing of hands, keeping physical distances from people, especially those close relatives that have travel history in the past couple of weeks. This will save someone, save the family, save close friends. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome, sir.
Coming to the question, it's clear that globally the pandemic and the resulting lockdown
measures
has affected economies all around the world. Even in the developed societies, it is obvious that their economies have been affected. Right here in Nigeria, we need to understand what the nature of economy that we have. We have a huge population, and the majority of this huge population, there are people who belong to the middle and low class earners, and the small and medium scale businesses. We don't have large corporations in Nigeria, like telecommunications, like airways, like refineries, petrochemicals. We don't have large corporations driven by government initiatives in Nigeria. So business in Nigeria and economy generally depends on individual initiatives. This has been up that way because if you notice that whenever government fail in providing any of the things that they're supposed to, private initiatives come up.
Yeah, that's true.
In education, the failure of government resulted in so many private schools.
Yeah.
In marketing, production, transportation, it is the same thing. Recently, we see that failure in security is making private initiatives to come up again in the area of security. So businesses in Nigeria have been private initiative driven. So when private people go into businesses, they have to arrange for how they get their source of power.
Yeah.
They have to arrange for how they get their water. They have to arrange how they cope with logistics, transportation, and all that. Yet, when they do survive in these their private initiatives, they go back to pay tax to government that have provided nothing. So now that there is a lockdown, you tell these private people, businesses, small scale, medium scale, to sit down at home. And majority of these people survive on daily earnings.
Yeah, daily earnings.
That's why you see a lot of street trading in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And whatever they get that day, they feed on it. Tomorrow they go out again. So when you tell them to sit down at home, it's like you are telling a population of over 60% of the Nigeria population to do no business. So you can imagine that there's going to be hunger, there's going to be grief. Now, at the national scale, it's a monoproduct economy that is merely depend on oil.
Yeah.
We have not expanded the capacity of that oil industry to produce goods. And we depend on oil and we depend on importation. Even the domestic need for the petrol, we can't even refine it. We still have to buy it. So now that oil has gone down, recent statistics show that oil is going about $11 per barrel, and the production cost of a barrel is up to $22.
It has dropped drastically.
It has dropped drastically. So, which means that at the national level, the economy is bad. That's why you see that our government, they have to go looking for where to borrow, looking for where to source for one thing or the other. So that's how bad the situation is right now.
Okay, quite interesting. Quite interesting. Now, what are the opportunities that are faced for small and medium scale businesses in this present situation? Of course, you agree with me, for every disadvantage, there's always an advantage. So in this case, do we have advantage as a business personnel?
Yeah, thank you. It's often said that opportunities hide behind problems.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so when there are problems, means there are opportunities inherent there. So now that we try to understand the nature of life, I want to say that the pandemic and the lockdown has redefined the way we live, the way we worship, the way we buy and sell, our consumption patterns, resetting priorities. So with this at the back of our mind, we can say that solutions have to be sought. People can't stay indoors and die.
Yeah.
So we have to seek solutions. Those solutions come as opportunities. So I'll give you some instances. Starting from my neighborhood, for a couple of days I was walking out to the road to buy loaf of bread and things for breakfast for myself, because I found I was alone in the house. My family had traveled.
Okay.
So at a point, I found that coming out every morning like this, I now talk to the woman who sells in front there, because I couldn't be driving to where I used to shop at Shop Mall. So I said, okay, why don't you give me your phone number?
Yes.
So when I need something, you have a sales guy here. When I need something, look at my house over there. I'll just call you, place an order, and you deliver. As simple as something like a loaf of bread. And that is how it has been for a while. You see that there is a shift in the way we buy. We have to see it. So the opportunities that are there, starting from the small scale, everybody who is into business must find a new way of selling, a new way of buying, a new way of selling. not completely new, but because of the low-level integration of information technology tools, internet tools in our society, we think it's new because we are used to face-to-face trading.
Yeah.
If you were somewhere elsewhere in US, you could stay in your room, go on your computers, and visit a grocery store, order whatever, and in a few minutes you get it. But right now, we're not going to run away from that style of trading. So, one, the opportunities are there. The small-scale business owners must understand how they are going to deliver their goods now and receive their money, render their services. More specifically, a young lady approached me that she had the idea of developing a virtual tailoring shop.
Okay.
Whereby you log into her site, a template drops down, you take your tape, measure yourself, then you will see styles on the side. Pick a style and a fabric, and then put your statistics, you put your shoulder width, you put your length, you put everything in there, and then you pay. Everybody right now is used to electronic payment system. Is that you do transfer payments, or you use your card or whatever. Or use
a mobile app.
So that was her concept before the pandemic, that she was thinking of something like that so that she can reach out to a wider coverage. Now, people in Lagos, Port Harcourt, everywhere, they can just simply log in there and order a dress, and then choose fabric, and then choose pattern, and put your statistics there, and you pay. They are going to bring the dress down to you. You don't really have to go to the tailoring shop anymore. That is a model. And small-scale business owners must look towards that direction. For instance, some people will say, send me airtime, let me buy data on my phone. You will send airtime. What are they going to do with that data? WhatsApp, chatting, and all that. But they will not know that that data, you could have used it to send list of items you can deliver at somebody's doorstep, even if it's yam, banana, plantain, whatever. The same data, the same contacts that you have. You understand?
Yeah.
So that is an opportunity. We only have to reorient ourselves to know how we use internet appliances to do our small businesses. So that's that. There is the question of illiteracy somehow. Another opportunity is the middlemanship. Now, what I call a middleman in this new paradigm is somebody. I worked almost overnight last night.
Okay, doctor, permit me. Let's go on a break, and when we're back, we'll continue from where you stop.
All right.
All right, don't touch that die. Stay with us. Welcome back from that break, and in case you are just joining us, this is Business Talk Show on Celebration TV, and I still remain your host, Igbefwe John. Dr. Moses Igbafe is still with us in the studio, and we have been talking on the effect of this COVID-19 pandemic and this lockdown regulation imposed by all nations to ensure that the spread is actually limited. Dr. Igbafe, you were saying something before we went on that break.
Yeah, we're talking about opportunities and how to cope.
Yes.
Now, looking at the majority of people who are not literate and who are not IT compliant, this brings in the opportunity of the concept of middleman. Those who are learned, they can come in because the business model now is that goods have to be delivered at the doorstep of the consumers.
Yes.
And payments have to be made more or less electronically.
Yeah.
Now, the idea of the middleman stuff there is that I don't need to own a grocery store.
Yeah.
But if I can use IT tools, internet tools, I can advertise. I can advertise for things. I can walk up to the woman who is selling groceries in front of my street and say, okay, I'm going to use my internet tools to tell people in my contacts that they have banana, have plantain, have this, eggs, and all that. So just order we will bring to your doorstep. When I get the order, I will come and collect and deliver and pay you your money. So that solves the problem of saying that, oh, there are a lot of people who will not be able to use the tools and all that. So with that, it will be able to cope. For the past 2 nights, I've been working on an online shop. The concept that came to my mind at the middle of the night. I am not going to stock anything anywhere, but I am just going to act as a middleman to some supermarkets and all that. We get orders, we go pick books, pick groceries, pick anything. We
bring them
deliver.
close to their customers.
Then the third opportunity that comes to my mind is logistics. Now, delivering is an issue.
Yes.
Somebody who is interested in transportation can simply buy 2 or 3 keke napep at this time. Go around the supermarkets, tell them that when people order your goods, just call us. I will send a keke to you to pick them and deliver it at an address. That's another opportunity that comes. So you see that as the living pattern is changing, we also have to be responding with initiatives on how to buy, sell, if you produce anything, how you get it to the consumer and all that. For a couple of days, it will surprise you that I'll be using my phone to order for soup. That is African soup.
Already prepared.
Yeah, from my village. The woman cooks it. Then I will call her. She prepares it. If I want pounded yam, she will prepare it and get it down to me. So I didn't have to be driving out of the house to go and sit in the restaurant to say I want to eat. So these are new ways and new opportunities. But basically, everybody must make sure that you have something you are producing that you want to sell, or you have a service that you want to render. Papa once said,
that's Apostle
Johnson Suleiman, that if you don't produce anything that somebody needs to buy, you don't have a service for which somebody needs to pay you for the knowledge, say you don't qualify for prosperity, financial prosperity.
Wow, that's quite interesting.
There must be, he said, whatsoever you do with your hands shall prosper. Okay. There must be something. Yeah.
That's interesting, Doctor. Yeah. And now, what is the way out for our economy after this whole pandemic issue is over? Because if you agree with me, a lot of companies are downsizing. We have experienced huge losses, just as you have emphasized, even in the petroleum industry. Last week, I was listening to a particular news and discover the people who sells yam in the market were actually crying out to government that they've lost over 10 million naira during this short time of lockdown. That they cannot sell. People no longer travel from other countries to patronize. I think Nigeria, if I'm not mistaken, Nigeria. Yeah. So what is the way out after this whole issue has been finally resolved by the grace of God?
Yeah, thank you. For us down here in Nigeria,
how do we revive our economy?
First of all, we need a sincere government. We need a government that can tell the populace the truth and tell themselves the truth also. Then we must look inward you see, I've seen Nigeria as a parasite nation, not willing to produce or do anything, but just waiting for other nations to make production initiatives, and you just want to buy. That's how our industries died. Now we must go back. Time comes when every man has to stand on his own 2 feet. We must go back and revive our industries. In truth, Nigeria will have money. Okay, imagine that we have refineries right now. Local consumption alone is enough. The population and the number of cars in Nigeria alone. Imagine that the oil is low now. Our refineries buy it, produce it, and sell within Nigeria.
Locally consumed.
Locally consumed fuel alone can sustain refineries, but we don't have them. So the government should look towards these areas, revive corporations that will absorb our youth who graduate. If we had Nigeria Airways as we used to, how many thousands of our youths that will go in there? If we have one refinery per geopolitical zone, meaning we will have at least 6 functioning refineries, how many young graduates will work there? So we have to create work environment. I don't believe in job creation that governments are doing. You give graduates broom to be sweeping the road. You say, no, create corporations. Let people graduate and go in there. That will raise individual economies. And then we have to try and produce. We have to try and produce, not import everything. And then we will gradually get back on feet. It will take some time, but it will take sincerity of government. Why I say they have to be sincere. Now, imagine this pandemic now, funds are coming in, you know. But how, Nigeria is not a documented society. That is, we don't know who are living in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And when government say poor families, what criteria do you use to judge poor families?
I was actually coming to that, Doctor, but let's still look at it.
Okay.
A lot of funds have been donated by philanthropies and even support from other countries.
Yeah.
Now, have these funds been effectively used or utilized?
The government has a problem in effectively utilizing any fund, whether it is loan or whether it is palliative from this pandemic. Now, before you can effectively utilize resources, you must know who are indigenous or who are nationals or who live in Nigeria. Everybody in Nigeria, imagine that you go to America. Anybody in America, they know you are here. They know your status. Either you are a visitor or you are a citizen or you are a resident. I mean, the documents are there. But here, we don't have population, we don't have census figures. We don't have location. I was talking with my neighbor this morning. When we're talking we're rubbing minds about this delivering of services and goods to doorstep. Now, he now asked me that do we have street names and street numbers on houses that you can say, take this bottle of water to number 45, so street, Divine Street. We don't have. So Nigeria is not a documented society. So government cannot, they will only be lying if they say they are effectively utilizing these funds, these donations that have come in, because they don't have we don't have credible statistics that will make government to be able to judiciously use this thing. So,
all right, Doctor. Time now actually allows us to go far. I just want to ask you 2 questions before we call it a day. Now, the first one is, should we solely depend on oil sector as a country?
Thank you. That is the first major mistake that Nigeria made. Before oil boom, Nigeria had economy, agricultural economy. And you see that if you look at the priority on consumption list right now in the face of this pandemic, you now find that agricultural products are top priority now.
That's
so
true.
You will now see that it's an error to depend on oil as the major source. But it's our mindset to always go for quick money. So Nigeria should look back to agriculture, look back to other solid minerals, and beyond anything else, look back to production. So that in the eventuality of instances of this kind of pandemic, you can be self-sustaining, at least to a large extent.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Now, how has ICT, as an information technologist, how has ICT helped to build our economy, even businesses at large?
Yeah, the world is changing. The world is being redefined, and it is scriptural. Now we are in dispensations where we are still in the dispensation of grace, which will terminate at the rapture. Then we go into the tribulation. Now, in that dispensation of tribulation, the Bible describes a certain type of economy in which you must be enrolled before you can buy or you can sell.
All right, lastly before we go, Doctor, can you advise our audience, businessmen, businesswomen, individuals who are staying at home this period, other countries and viewers all over the world, an advice to them presently?
Yeah, my advice is that, one, keep doing what you are doing, your handwork, something you can produce, something you can sell, a service you can render. Stick to it, but only learn the new way, the new dimension to transactions, which relies on information technology. If you live in the rural area and you are not so vast in information technology, at least the phone networks everywhere in Nigeria and everywhere in the world, you can get somebody who is close to you who knows how to use handheld tools, devices, who can help you put your business online with simple WhatsApp that everybody does. You can advertise your goods. You can find a way to carry on with your business.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gwafe, for coming to join us today on Business Talk Show. We are really happy you actually share a lot to us this morning. Thank you very much. This is how far we can go on Business Talk Show. On behalf of the crew on Celebration TV, we want to admonish you to stay safe, and even when you are at home, stay happy, stay healthy. Ensure you practice all healthy precautions to ensure you are healthy, because health is wealth. If you are not alive, then that business is not going to flourish. Please, even in this present pandemic, there is still something you can do. So look at your immediate society and discover that thing that is needed and ensure you are doing it. I still remain your host on Business Talk Show, I, Before John, and it's bye for now.